So a lot of you all have been waiting on a update on this 408 and Kong 2650 going in Eddy's 87 Burb. And here's an update, and it's probably not the one y'all are looking for, but hopefully what we're about to do will make up for that. After laying under this thing for several hours, Eddy's realized how rusty the underneath of this truck really is, what kind of chassis work it really needs to be able to handle this power safely with his family in it. And then we went to burnout rivals. And there's an RX-8 sitting out front that needs to live a life on the skid pad, and this truck would probably be a lot better off and a lot more practical with like a 5.3 or 6.0 in it with a little camshaft and a stock trans. So we're pulling the power plant out and we're gonna LS swap an RX-8. We're trying to do this before SUMMERNATS USA 2026. We're gonna give it all we got and see if what we can make happen. So Eddy's here to start on it now. It is mid-November. So we've got like 4 months to have this thing moved over to the RX-8 and the RX-8 ripping to be able to hit the skid pad. It's the last time y'all will see the 408 from Mike Lough 2650 that Eddy's got in his bird, and now it will be in his newly acquired RX-8. Raise hell, praise Dell, or something like that. All right, so Eddy's been thrashing on this thing, got the front accessories off, got the lid off the blower. He's getting ready to pull the blower now. We're gonna get that thing pulled off and set aside. And then from there, it's pretty downhill. It's got the headers off. Trying to have this thing out of here pretty soon so we can get the RX-8 in here, start getting it stripped down, and a game plan on how we're gonna stuff this off in there. All right, so engine and transmission are out of the burb officially, along with just about everything else. Left the power steering and the electronic power steering. So he's still gonna use that in here. The ACES system, that's really about it. Some wiring. He's gotta pull the coolant tank out for the blower. Then it's time to get this thing out of here and get the RX-8 in here so we can start tearing it apart. All right, so we got this thing set on the ground. Now we've got to air the airbags up to be able to get it outside and roll it around. Show you guys what we got going on to do that, because we're ghetto fabulous. Got the battery charger, got that going over here. Then we'll have to move the positive over to that bolt, and the blue wire going to the pink wire to give us power up front to control the remote, be able to air it up. But we're doing what we got to do to get this thing out, and we're gonna get the RX-8 in here, figure out some charging system issues on misdemeanor, and then I gotta do a tire change and an oil change on my truck for tomorrow, and get my radials mounted up to go do some drag racing. So here's the next candidate for Eddy's 408 Kong 2650. We'll get this little rotary pulled out of here, create some room, figure out what we're doing for mounts, and make a couple conversion kits. We're not really 100% sure what direction we want to go. We're trying to make this as budget friendly as possible, but we also have a deadline to meet. We got a lot of work to do. We have a lot of work cut out for us. This is on top of all the other customer builds we have here. And I hate to disappoint you guys on us pulling this setup out of the burb, but the burb had a lot of rust that we didn't really look for or care to look at. And the more and more we thought about it, Eddy decided he wanted to build a chassis for the truck. And then the more we looked at the truck, we realized when you try to take that body off the chassis, it's probably gonna fall apart. Probably just not rigid enough to hold 1,000 horsepower. So we decided to shove that in a RX-8, like it was ever designed to hold 1,000 horsepower. But we can brace stuff up. We can add structural integrity, being as the car isn't rusted out. And I'm not at all an import guy, but this little thing is kick-ass. I like it. I think it's gonna be a great skid car. Got a sunroof, so that's dope. Be able to hang our hands out the windows. But this is essentially going to be part one of a series where we swap this car. We have roughly 4 months, a little under 4 months. So it's definitely doable. We have just about everything we need other than the car specific stuff. And then we'll have to figure something out for headers, whether we build a set or we find some turbo headers that work or something. It's not just up to me, it's not my car. Once Eddy gets here, he's gonna start diving into this, tearing this thing apart, and I'll get you guys some footage of that. We'll see how far we get in this first episode of this series. We're gonna see if this core support can hold the weight of the car. This is how Mazda should have tested their safety rating.
Alright, that's good.
Oh, damn it.
Stick in the car.
Come to this side, man.
Alright, jack stands back. Get off here, but I feel like I'm counterweighting the thing right now.
Yeah.
We are. Get that right now? No. Watch that whip. Yep. Drop back down on the ground. Hell yeah. Oh, we put a rotary motor. Oh, no, there's not a motor in there. Tell me this thing is bigger than 60. I guess it might hurt. I'm smaller. It might be a little smaller.
All right, so we did decide to cut off the front end of the car and tube it out, not only for space, but we've got to stand the radiator up. There's a brace that goes across the front of the engine bay that is pretty structural that we had to cut out to make the LS fit. So we're going to have to weld some bracing in anyway. And this way it just frees up a lot of space. And it's all in front of the strut towers and in front of the front wheels. Not a bunch of work. And luckily Eddy does have experience with doing some of these. It's not a huge deal though. But Eddy come in, he got the front end cut off the car. So what's one of your top 5 favorite things to do?
I like cutting front ends off.
Let's go.
I'm good at it.
He's got a pretty solid game plan on what he wants to do. So he brought his tubing bender over today. He's got a really nice pneumatic tubing bender, and he's about to start bending some tubing, start getting it laid out. Now, a little bit of backstory on this car and where it came from and why we got it, because we are not Mazda people. For you that don't know, before we had this shop, I was a professional tattoo artist. My wife and I owned a tattoo shop in Jonesboro, Arkansas. I tattooed for a decade. While tattooing, I love trading, I love bartering, I love trading tattoo work for pretty much anything that I could get some enjoyment out of or I could find a dollar value in. Through doing that bartering system, I met a lot of awesome people. A lot of friends that I have today are from those days when we were doing that. And one of those guys happened to post this car on Marketplace. To keep it real with y'all, I saw an episode of Stay Tuned with Tony Angelo where they picked up a little RX-7, I believe it was, probably 20 years older than this car. But it had an Ironhead 350 in it. It's like a turbo 350 transmission. It was on a Jegs drag pack, and the thing weighed damn near nothing. And I just thought, man, that is the perfect platform for like a little street car, drag and drive car, burnout car. You know, options are endless. So we were able to work up a deal with this thing. Of course, he had it running. He showed me some videos of it running and whatnot. We went out to his house, and just in typical Ford product fashion, it would not run for me. So we sat out there and messed with it for a while. It was about an hour away. We tried to film it. We were going to make an episode out of it if we could drive it back to the shop and take it out back and whip some donuts in it. That's how we planned to share it with you guys. But once we couldn't get the car started, we didn't really see any true value in the content until now. But it was about an hour away, so we rode up there and we messed with it for like 2 hours in his yard trying to get it started, trying to get it running. It had some catalytic converter codes, some O2 codes. I don't even really remember what else was going on with it. We ended up calling Jason.
I think we're defeated.
It's kind of looking that way. And Jason come up. We put it on the trailer. We trailered that thing back to the shop. I don't know anything about the rotaries, so I started getting on Google and doing a little bit of research and found out a few things about them, about like the low compression, typically how they're just all around junk, especially that year model of rotary. So then we were like, all right, well, we'll see if it gets cold outside. Once the temperatures start dropping, if it gets cold, we'll see if we can't get it started. So one of the first cold mornings, we went out there, we threw a battery on it, we tried to get the thing started. It still wouldn't start for us. So that's when we kind of gave up. When we have the time, funds, and everything else we need, we will LS swap this thing and have a fun little project out of it. And then we went to Burnout Rivals in Florida. We took Panda down there and competed, and we were fortunate enough to be able to take the group with us. They were fortunate enough to be able to go, and they were willing to go. And everybody went down there, and we had a great time. And when we come back, Eddy was like, man, I got to sling my bird. I got to sling my bird. And as we kept working on the swap and really kept weighing the options of what's really going on underneath that truck with the rust situation, Emma and I talked about it, and we kind of came to the realization that we're not going to be able to get to this car anytime soon. We have several other projects in front of it. She has another car to build. Our son has a truck we want to build. We've got the Colorado now. We have too much. So look, we've got this group of guys that always come and help us. Some of them don't even have projects. Some of them want to build something just particularly to skid in. Whoever wants this RX-8 and will actually take it and build something with it and get it running, let's work something out, man. Like, we'll pretty much put up the car, and they got to put up all the parts and the drivetrain and all that. And when the car's running out there on the pad, that's their car. I don't want it. It's not mine no more. I just want to see my friends out here having a great time, and I'd like to see this car ripping on the skid pad. And Eddy was the one that jumped up and said, hey, I'll take that. And then, of course, instead of wanting to put a Junkyard 5.3 or something in it, he's like, dude, I have this power plant. I want to see it in action. I want to enjoy it. I want to hear it making boost and ripping and just destroying tires. On top of, the burb's just not structurally sound enough for what we were wanting to put in it. And that's just the sad, honest truth. This car is a lot more solid, but I just figured I'd share a little backstory with you guys on how we got the car, why we got the car, what our intentions were getting the car, and where the car is at now. Because that was a hidden episode. We put the footage up and never even did anything with it. So I don't even think we even watched through it. That's the footage that I've been including here in black and white. To keep it separate from what we got going on now, obviously. Remember to please like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Ring the bell for notifications so when you get updates when we drop new content. And make sure to look for us on our social media platforms. Huge shout out to our sponsors, Brunt Workwear, Brian Tooley Racing, FTI Performance, Evil Energy Auto Parts, O'Reilly Auto Parts, and many, many more. We'll see you guys in the next one.